So, hello, dear student. Welcome to Strivage IAS Daily Newspaper Analysis. Dear student, today we are going to see about the 1st of 1st June newspaper analysis. So, first article is India established decisive advantage after losses in the air in the first day. This is what said by our Chief of Defense Staff. Okay? So, recently, Chief of Defense Staff in Shangri-La dialogue clearly mentioned that India achieve decisive edge after initial losses. So speaking to the international media, CDS Anil Chauhan ji ne denied the Pakistan claim of downing six Air Force aircraft, and India rectified the tactical mistake made initially and stopped Pakistan with pinpoint accuracy. Okay? So this is first time that our military head, or you can say highest level, they accept that. So what was important is why did these losses occur? What we do after that? So we rectify the tactical when we went back on 17th, 18th, and 10th with a large number to hit air bases deep inside the Pakistan, penetrating all their air defense impunity. Okay, carried out precision strike and flew all type of aircraft with type of ordnance in all 10th. Okay, so that is what showing. So though there might be some losses, because in war losses are always part of that. So even the US F-35 Lightning aircraft recently shut down by the Houthi rebels. So whatsoever be the advanced the weapon, there always be losses. So we cannot deny that. Okay. So next, actually the Anil Chauhan ji ne recently the participated in the Shangri-La dialogue. Shangri-La dialogue that is being held in Singapore each and every year. So they said this statement. So okay. Next we'll move towards COVID-19 cases hit 3,039 395. So wastewater viral load is rise. So we need to be very careful because there might be a new wave of COVID-19. So India will no longer be tolerated. India will no longer be tolerated the proxy war. A bullet will be answered with shell. So that means we have to give befitting reply. If Pakistan fire a bullet, we'll have to give reply with shell, so that they'll understand the language they are willing to understand. Okay? So Operation Sindoor has sent a clear message to the to Pakistan that India will no longer tolerate proxy war. That is proxy war of promoting terrorism to bleed India through thousands of court, through thousands of court. So Modi ji address the conclave Ahilya Bai Mahila सशक्तिकरण महासम्मेलन. ठीक है. So on the 300 birth anniversary of centenary Queen Ahilya Bai Holkar Indore. So we have already discussed about the Ahilya Bai Holkar contribution for good governance and women empowerment. So everyone remember. ठीक है. So this is all about the article. So recently we have seen there are so many region of India receiving huge torrential rainfall. So because of that there is a landslide and disrupting life in the northeastern region. So here you can see here it's a landslide in the Mizoram, okay, states. So next, BJP legislator renew push to form popular government in the Manipur. So we have discussed last 2 to 3 years there has been severe crisis going on the Manipur. So in Manipur the presidential rule being imposed. So Bharatiya Janata Party MLA in Manipur were renew push to end the presidential rule and form a popular government. Popular government means elected government that can focus on the peace and development. So if you look into the size of the Manipur Legislative Assembly, it is 60 member Manipur Assembly. Out of that 30 are from the BJP. Okay? And there is a conflict in Manipur. I've already told you three community. First one is Meiti, Naga, and Kuki. So out of this 60, so Kuki Jo community, they have 7 MLA, but they have not visited ever the impulse, since there is a ethnic violence conflict going on. Okay? So with a ethnic conflict broke out between the Meiti community, they are plain who dominate the state capital and the valley beyond. The Kuki Jo tribes claiming more than 250 lives and displaced 60,000 people. Okay? So we desire a government that can focus on the development and sustainable peace. Everything depends on our central leadership. So when there is a popular government, they are very close to the people. So we can expect good thing from the popular government. And dear student, to get this PDF, you can simply scan this QR code and join our infographics edition that is available within the UPSC section, and download that. You'll get this PDF. Okay. Next we'll see the the Opal, Suchata, and Chuangsri of Thailand is Miss World in 2025. So the finale being together 108 contestant across the globe. So just you need to remember Opal, Suchata, Chuangsri. Okay, so Miss World. So next, civil defense exercise Operation Shield conducted in the state. So you need to remember, if they can ask about what is the objective of Operation Shield. Operation Shield is a civil defense exercise. So emergency situations such as air raid, drone attack were simulated, and the injured volunteer were taken to the hospital. So authority in Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana Saturday conducted major statewide civil defense exercise named Operation Shield. So you need to remember what are the objective of Operation Shield, so they can be asked good question. So this is a very good example of how good governance, how implementation of the Forest Right Act can bring significant changes in the life of the tribal people. In a bid for self sufficiency, tribal of Odisha are asserting ownership right for local forest. Okay, so you can read this article about the story once. One village name Palki, one village name Palki used to be remote. No, people are not educated, lack of access to that location. But now, because of the forest right, they are being implemented properly. So they sell their bamboo, then tendu leaves. So they are a lot of money, and because of that, they invest in the education. So a lot of thing is going on. So you can use this as a model initiative, example of model initiative, ethics and essay or good governance. You can write them. Okay, just read the highlighted portion. Already I have given it. Okay. So next is 30 dead in landslide flood as heavy rain slam northeastern India. So recently we have seen that heavy rainfall is occurring in the northeastern India. So because of that, 30 dead, and and severe flooding condition is persist. So next is multidisciplinary approach more important than marks to land a job academics. Yes, definitely. So today we are seeing a world where we need to have people with multiple talent or skill. So cumulative grade average point, that is CGPA, cumulative grade average point CGPA score does not ensure lucrative opportunity. Rather, students should focus on the acquiring life skill. Speakers ठीक है, life skill को focus करना पड़ेगा. It explore the topic beyond marksheet, including real world skill through humanities and science. ठीक है. So what skill we need? Candidate capable of critical thinking, effective communication, innovative solving. See, a multidisciplinary approach like academic looking beyond conventional framework education helps. So these are actually few things we need to get good job. So also able to be able to solve social issue with empathy. Student need to have aptitude and curiosity that come from the studying subject such as literature, history, psychology, music and philosophy. Okay, so to have upper edge or get a job, we need to have multidisciplinary approach. Dear student, to join our Sunday or Saturday podcast, you simply scan this QR code and join our Telegram channel. There you can get it. Okay. So dear student, next is the Donald Trump, a repeat claim of stopping nasty Indo-Pakistan conflict. So President Donald Trump said that the deal he is most proud of is that he was able to stop the potentially nuclear war between the India and Pakistan through the trade instead of bullet. So this is claim being outrightly denied by our Ministry of External Affairs. So in India on Thursday said that the issue of trade did not come up at all in the talk between the Indian American leader during the military clashes between Pakistan. So virtually rejecting the Washington repeated claim that it offered trade to stop the confrontation. So like there is a conflicting of statement, one side by given by the Donald Trump, and that is being denied by our Ministry of External Affairs. So dear student, you can join our OPSC test series. It is already available in our application. The price is very nominal as compared to other coaching institute. They are charging 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. So you'll get quality test. All those who are prepared by those who have written multiple OPSC, UPSC interview. Okay. So you can simply scan this QR code to join. So Colombia retracted message offering condolence to the Pakistan for loss of life, say Shashi Tharoor. So the Colombia, the capital is Bogota. So initially they gave a message in support of Pakistan. When Indian teams reach out there, they gave them information. So they retracted the message. Now they understand the position of India. So that is what the but that is what the important to create awareness among the international level. So if you don't create awareness among the international level, people believe that Pakistan is a victim. Okay, so we need to expose, the real image of the Pakistan. It's a terror nation. So India engaged US in a plan to put Pakistan on the grey list of the FATF. So dear student, so write in the comment box FATF, FATF headquarter, and what are the different list? What are the different list of FATF? Okay. So, Foreign Secretary Bikram Mistry, who was recently on 3-day visit to the US, engaged US official regarding the upcoming Financial Action Task Force session, where India is expected to argue for putting Pakistan under the grey list. If a nation is putting, if let's say we are putting a nation under the FATF grey list, in that case, the country will be monitored more severely for its financial transaction. To receive financial international aid, so there is a severe, there is a severe scrutiny where they are going to fund. They also need to make some anti-terror law. They need to crack down money laundering practices. So that will squeeze the international funding to the Pakistan. So it will be put more pressure, financial pressure on the Pakistans to act fast. Okay, so both side focus on the technology, trade, and talent as pillar of the US Indian relationship. So like, India and USA. So next plenary meeting of FATF is expected to take place in June, where India is planning to put a re-inclusion of Pakistan in the grey list. Recently, Pakistan was in the grey list, but it was removed. Okay, but India also want once again it should be put on the grey list, so that it will not get unlimited fund from the international market and increase scrutiny pressure, so that Pakistan can take verifiable action against this terrorism and terrorist activity. So discussion focused on co-production and co-development of initiatives, sustained joint military exercise, logistics, and information sharing framework, enhance interoperability between armed forces. So these are the discussion that is going to like held between the India and USA. So dear student, next we'll see about the center notify new age-based film certification. So you know that. So the central board for film certificate. So central board for film certificate, it is provide for certification of the movie or filmy. So it is certified under the under the act, cinematography act 1952, cinematography act 1952. So certification, without certification, no movie can be published. So union government on Saturday notified the revised age based certification criteria category for film, aimed at encouraging age appropriation viewing, particularly the audience requiring parental guidance. Okay, so gazette notification. So we need to, so central board of film certificate. So central board of film certificate established under cinematography act 1952. Cinematography Act 1952 is empowered to issue certificate for unrestricted public exhibition with specific endorsement indicating nature of the type of content, like mark universal access 7 plus, universal access 13 plus, universal access. That means it is applicable for anyone more than 7 year. It is visible. It can be viewed by anyone 13 plus, 16 plus year. Okay? So next, Pakistan violating. So this is a statement, bold statement given by India. Pakistan violating Indus Treaty through terrorism. So the treaty, if we look into the treaty of this Indus Treaty, preamble stated that it was concluded in the spirit of goodwill and friendship. That honoring treaty is good faith is essential. So same minister at the UN conference on the Glacier. Okay? So that means the Indus Treaty is concluded with the on the faith of that good faith and good relationship. But when Pakistan promoted the terrorism, it itself violated the Indus Treaty. And then there is no point of crying and saying that India is not following. We are following, but first Pakistan violated this treaty. So India said that Pakistan should stop blaming it for breach of Indus Water Treaty and on related cross-border terrorism from its soil is interfering with the treaty implementation, because treaty says that it is implemented on the good faith and good relation. But when Pakistan promote the terrorism, there is no good faith. When there is no good faith, so terror and water cannot go together. This is what our statement. So recently there was a meeting held in UN conference on Glacier, happened in Tajikistan, Dushanbe. So dear student, you need to remember, note down. So UN conference on Glacier happened in कहाँ हुआ था, ताजिकिस्तान दुश्बान में, because this can be a question asked in your prelims. Okay, please you need to note it down. So I'll, as already I have already told you multiple occasion, so I'll give you important points. Note down that I'll give 5 to 6 tasks daily. You have to find detail of that task, and I'll give you, 4 to 5 question also. You need to put in the comment box. Make this video more interactive. Okay, so I'll give you a guarantee you'll be able to solve 15 to 20 question in your prelim, so that turns into 30 to 40 marks. So just watch this video, I think 30 to 45 minutes, and then do some 30 minutes of work, homework, that what I'm giving. So by doing that 1.5 hour, I'll give you a guarantee that you'll at least score 30 to 40 marks. Okay. So next misuse of the forum. So there have been fundamental changes in the circumstances is the Indus Water Treaty was signed, which was required reassessment of treaty obligations. So these changes include technological advancement, demographic changes, climate change, and ongoing threat of cross-border terrorism. We have signed this Indus Water Treaty in 1960s, but so many changes have been happened, so we need to renegotiate the treaty. Okay? Treaty preamble stated that it was concluded in spirit of goodwill. It was concluded in the spirit of goodwill and friendship, and that honoring treaty is a good faith is essential. Okay? So that is what India is saying. To honor this treaty, we need to have good faith. So on the one hand, you are promoting terrorism, you are breeding India. On the other hand, you are also expecting that India should be liberal. This is what not going to be. And always Pakistan habit, always use international forum to just do the propaganda. Same thing happened in this international conference on the Glacier also. So the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Nawaz Sharif, his country could not allow India to cross red line by holding Indus Water Treaty. Okay? So see something about Indus Water Treaty. Indus Water Treaty signed in 1960 between India and Pakistan, with World Bank as a signatory, governing the sharing of the Indus River. Okay, so dear student, your task is make a note of Indus Water Treaty, IWT, in detail for your UPSC examination. So you can either, there can be good question, or you can write in the main. So UN conference on glacier, which end in the Saturday, aim at highlighting the importance of the glacier in maintaining global ecological balance and addressing water related challenges. So just club these two things and make a note of it. So UN conference on the glacier, ठीक है, कहाँ पे हुआ था and what are the objective. So next, India showcase cultural relations at Osaka World Expo. So, dear student, please write comment in the comment box. Osaka is located in which country? Okay, Osaka is located in which country? Okay. So next, in this conference, the designing of the pavilion is attributed to the Bodhisattva Padmapani from the iconic Ajanta cave, symbolizing compassion, enlightenment, and knowledge. So, dear student, tell me the the Ajanta cave. Ajanta cave is dedicated to which religion? The Ajanta cave is dedicated to which religion? Okay, and Ellora cave is dedicated to which religion? Please comment on the comment box. The Ajanta cave is dedicated or famous for which religion, and Ellora cave is dedicated for which religion? So Indian pavilion embody the natural nation's value of inclusivity, sustainable and progress, serving as a bridge between spiritual heritage and its ambitious future. The pavilion also highlight India's space program. Okay. So next, see, so Neolithic habitation sites with evidence of early metallurgy unearthed in Assam. Okay. So Neolithic, I think you know about the ancient history. So Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic. So it is called Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic period. So Neolithic period means modern human being emerged and they started settled agriculture. So archaeological site in Assam's Dima Hasao district uncovered but damaged during the construction. So you can say Dima Hasao found lot of archaeological, it is the Neolithic site. Okay, so if possible, you can just read it out. Dear student, to get this PDF, simply scan this QR code, and this PDF name is Delhi Infographics Edition. You can directly get that. So next is Indian iron and steel exporter fear 1 billion hit on the new US tariff. So on the financial year 2025, Indian export 4.56 billion worth of iron, steel, and aluminum product to USA, including 3.1 billion article of iron and steel. So Indian export steel, aluminum, and their product expected to tax 1 billion hit with the proposed fresh tariff hike by the USA. So proposed hike is to current 25% tariff section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act. That means, Donald Trump is recently said that he'll increase the tariff on the aluminum, steel. Okay, so that is going to impact our Indian export. So annual export of steel, aluminum production are worth of 5 billion. So, notice at the WTO, India issue a formal notice at World Trade Organization signaling an intention to slap retaliatory tariff on the USA good in response to the earlier steel tariff. With the USA now planning to double them, it is remain to see when India will raise the tariff on the same US export within a month. India is import almost 2 billion iron, steel, aluminum, and goods from the USA. So if USA impose tariff, so India can impose that also. Such sharp rise in the tariff send a discouraging signal to the global trade and manufacturing supply chain. Yes, if you start changing the rate of the price, steel price, so no one going to invest. So because of that, we are seeing a uncertainty in the world level. So we urge the government to take issue at the bilateral level to ensure Indian export are not unfairly disadvantaged. 25% additional duty will be huge burden. So this was mentioned by our industrial body. ठीक है. So next, India set to turn a global hub for audio, lighting, AV solution. So India's fast growing urbanizing population expected to exceed 6 million by 2023 is reshaping demand for smart, immersive, integrated audio visuals. AV means audio visual. So you can note down this data. So like by 2030, India's urban population is going to cross 6 million. So digital fast consumption depends and user expectation evolve. So Coldplay concert, okay, organized Ahmedabad in January. So we can say all these things are, they can attract lot of tourists. So Coldplay, I think you know about lights. So when it attract lot of tourists, so that led to the growth of our hotels, service industry. So that we can tap to propel our economy. Dear student, our Dronacharya year-long mentorship program is going on in our application. Here you will get daily targets, one-on-one mentorship with weekly mentor session. Along with that, answer writing program with the quality evaluation will provide you the summary of the daily targets along with the video prelims test series. So more detail, you can join this, download our application, or you can contact with us. Okay. So next, be aware of the beach near the river mouth. The air may not be the fresh. So there is a recent find. It is say that if let's say there is a river which is highly polluted river, if it is draining its water to the sea, so during this draining, so there might be aerosol that spray into the air. So because of that, air might be get polluted. If you expose this air repeatedly, so there might be severe acute health problem faced by the people. Okay. So lab grown bat organs, next step en route to predicting pandemic. So we know that bat, they are very important. They play important role. Bats are important animals that help maintain ecosystem balance and human well-being. They pollinate plant, disperse seed, and control the insect population. But they have also become popular for their unique ability to harbor most dangerous by the virus without succumb to the disease. So all these bats, they are the reservoir of this severe virus that we are seeing, like SARS, like COVID, then MORS, then SARS, Nipah virus. But these bats, they don't virus don't affect these bats. So because of that, we need to have study about their organs, how their organs are evolved, why they are not affected by these things. So if we have knowledge about all these things, we can prevent the future pandemic. So implication for India, what is the implication? India is home to the more than 120 bat species. However, virological data on these bats are limited. Though India is having large number of species, we don't have data on that. Okay. So many species are poorly studied. In Northeast study have been detected antibodies in Ebola and Marburg virus in both bats. That means their body also having the antibody to this virus. If we study better, then we can get that antibody that can help in development of vaccine. Kerala also experienced multiple Nipah virus outbreak with food bat identified as the likely carrier. So yet the effort to study native bats depth are hindered by the biosafety concern. We believe that if we study on the bats, so those who study, they might infect with the virus, and later this person may infect to the other people. So because of that, we don't allow the study. Then next is legal restriction. So there are so many legal restrictions before studying. So limited research infrastructure. So given the ongoing pressure on the habitat loss and climate change, so increasing human and wildlife conflict. So risk of new genetic disease is also rising. Let's say देखो, let's say we are now, earlier we are staying far away from the forest, now because of the globalization and population urbanization, we are moving very close to the jungle and we are clearing the jungle. That means these bats are nowhere to go, they are coming very near to our home. So because of that we are too much exposure to the bats, so there might chances of they might spill over from the, some virus might spill over to the human being. Okay, so we need to have more study to understand how we can develop antibody vaccines to future pandemic. Okay, so how diet save healthy aging? Yes, it's a very good article. So you can say that uh, so across the world, population older adult had increased over the time, and over 80% of them suffer from the at least one chronic disease. ठीक है, chronic disease को suffer होते हैं. So better quality, so no better quality diet is beneficial for the preventing heart attack, diabetes, and premature death. So what kind of diet is generally recommended? So Mediterranean diet. So it use the plant-based food, vegetables, fruits, legumes, natural oils, moderate amount of poultry and eggs. ठीक है. So the best, okay, so this is just given a example of good food for better aging, so you can go through it. So let's go to the last page. So this is a milestone event for India. So daring 17, so first woman who crossed the NDA portal. So first, the graduation ceremony of 148th course NDA marked the watershed moment for Indian Armed Forces, with first batch of the women passing out from the academy. So National Defence Academy has marked a watershed moment in Indian military history with graduation first batch of women cadets. So in 2 day events, so that was marked. So this milestone come after landmark, Supreme Court judgment which opened the gate for women since for entering into the NDA courses. So okay, so and one important event is the Srishti Daksh, who created history, becoming the first female cadet to receive silver medal and chief air staff trophy for securing top rank in the BS stream. Okay, so historic events mark not just a personal achievement for the each cadet, it is a significant stride for women in Indian Defence Force. Yes, it is a first step towards women empowerment and participation of our women in the defense forces. So, dear student, from today onward, our free mentorship program is going on. You can join this free mentorship program. Here, you will get daily targets, then infographics edition, then daily magazines, so a lot of things. So you can scan this QR code and join our free mentorship program. So best ever finish for India on foreign soil in 40 years. So Sachin end of his second behind the Olympic champion Arsad in javelin. So Parul come second bats to the Kazakhstan. So just you can just read it out. So like so 26th Asian Athlete Championship in Gumi, South Korea. India wrap off the campaign with best ever performance in the competition on the foreign soil, finishing 24 medals in the 40 years. So concluding day saw graph 3. Okay? So if you look into though although it was 3 less than the 27 that we have secured in 2023, the number of gold medal went this time from 6 to 8, pushing India to the second spot after China. Okay? इंडिया प्रीवियस बेस्ट कब हुआ था हमारा जकार्ता में, वेयर 22 medals that include 8 gold medals. ठीक है, just remember something. So nowadays they are asking question in the state PCS and UPSC sports related issue also. Dear student, this is our daily answer writing program. Here you can get 2 question per day, or 10 question in a week, or full length test in a fortnight. So either you can write daily basis or weekly basis or full length test, and it is completely flexible. So either you can write question from our sources or you can write from question from any other sources. So no need to join any test series that is costing you anywhere 30,000. Instead of that, bring their question, write in our write and submit. We'll evaluate and give it back to you at very nominal fees. So like 1/4 of that fees you'll get quality evaluation, because all our evaluator are interview appeared. Okay, so Donald Trump promised to double the aluminum steel tariff to 50%. So which is a cause of concern for India, because we import around 5 billions of aluminum and steel to the USA. So US President Donald Trump on Friday said that it would double the steel and aluminum import tariff 50% from next week. The latest salvo of its trade war aimed at protecting domestic industry. So this is what is a cause of concern for India. So next is Pentagon chief, which is the you can say defense chief of USA. one, China is preparing use of military forces in Asia. So US Secretary of Defense one on the Saturday that China was credibly preparing to use military forces to upend balance of power in Asia, vowing United States here to stay in these regions. For example, China recent activity in the South China Sea, or you can say like against Philippines, or there is clear indication that China is flexing its muscles to gain a significant strategic advantage. It is also showing its power against the Taiwan also. The threat China poses is real and could be imminent. So this is what said in the Shangri-La dialogue that is being held in Singapore. So credible preparing to potential use military forces to alter the balance of power by the China. So Chinese military was building capability to invade Taiwan, rephrase for uh, uh, rehearsing rehearsing for real deal. ठीक है? So this is an important incident. So Iran has amassed even more uranium, say UN watchdog. So Iran has further increased the stockpiling of uranium enrichment to near weapon level. So confidential report by the UN watchdog said. So Tehran, so 50% increase. So Vienna West International Atomic Energy Agency says that the May 17 Iran has amassed 408 kgs of uranium enriched to 60 kg. That is an increase of 50% since IAEA last report in February. So 16% enrichment material is a short technical step to weapon grade. So 90%. So when you enrich the uranium to 90%, so it can be weapon grade. But the stockpile level is 274 kg. So let's see about something about detail about IAEA. So that is what I'm saying. Whatever the key terms mentioned in the newspaper, I'll give you a task. So just do some 30 minutes of search and note making. That will definitely help to gain 20 to 30 marks extra as compared to other. So IAEA is an intergovernmental organization that seeks to promote peaceful use of nuclear energy, and it's inhibit use of any military purpose and nuclear weapons. So that means IAEA promote use of nuclear and nuclear power for promotion of nuclear energy, like it's use of atom for peace. So it was established in 1957 in the World Com Atom for Peace, organized within UN and governed by its own funding treaty. So the statute of IAEA. So it is not a or UN organization, but it is functioning in coordination with UNA. So it report both UNGA and UNSC and is headquartered in UN office Vienna, Austria. In 2005, it was awarded Nobel Prize for its work in safe and peaceful world. So IAEA has 178 member state, India being one of the founding member of it. So if there is a question, all UN member are part of this IAEA. So you should know that whether all member or not. Okay. So next, Sweden step of rule against the Russian Baltic shadow fleet. So there can be a good question. Recently, shadow fleet terms is seen in news related to what? Okay, so they can ask a good question. So opening checks on the foreign vessel in the Baltic farm. So reinforcing crackdown on the Russian shadow fleet, a tanker deployed to the sanction on its oil trade following Ukraine war. So Western country led by USA imposed sanction on the Russia. So to circumvent that sanction, they use some shadow fleet to supply oil all over the world. So already we had discussion on the gold scheme. So why RBI is changing gold loan rule? Okay. So Reserve Bank of India released a draft direction on loan against the gold collateral with objective to harmonize regulatory framework across the regulated entity, that is bank and non-bank financial entity. So now what happened? Recent time it is seen that the gold loan amount is increasing quite fast. So that led to the there might be exploitation of the common man. So RBI is providing certain rules and regulations so that we can harmonize the gold loans. Okay. So what was the response to the after that? So the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, M.K. Stalin, wrote a letter to the Nirmala Sitharamanji and request for review, because whatever may be the regulation, it should not impact the small farmer, because small farmer, it's a serious disruption to the rural credit delivery system in Tamil Nadu across the South India, because the small farmer or poor people, they generally rely on this small gold loan to access to the, you can say, agricultural credit, health emergency. So ministry, so after that, Ministry of Finance given a request. So the MK Stalin said that gold backed loans serve as a primary source of short term agricultural credit, especially for small farmer and those who engage in the allied sectors such as dairy and poultry. So then why RBI want to step in and provide a regulation? Because the loan against the gold jewelry portfolio on banks and non-bank estimated to have grown over by 50% for bank alone, and business more than doubled, growing 104 percentage, which is set alarming rank. Okay? The draft direction on the loan against the gold collateral aim to harmonize the regulatory framework across the regulatory entity and address the difference in the lending practices. The direction aim at protecting the interest of borrower to provide clarity on certain credit and operational process followed by a lender to enhance transparency and disclosure. So basic aim is to ensure the proper regulation and ensure the transparency. So the draft circular come at a critical juncture when rising gold prices and widening credit gap are prompting more individuals, especially from the informal economy, to pledge household gold for short-term liquidity. Okay? So because of this rising rapid, gold deposit loan, so this regulation come into force. So what are the key changes? First is maximum loan to value ratio. Let's say आपके पास 1 lakh value of gold is there. So let's say if a bank is given 80,000 rupees to you, so that is what called 0.8 loan to value ratio. Your value is 1 lakh and they are providing you 80,000 crore. So loan to value ratio is 0.8. So maximum loan to value ratio remain capped at 75%. Okay? Maximum loan to value ratio capped at 75%. For consumption based bullet loan, accrued interest must be included in the loan to value calculation. So that means after, which effectively reduce the disbursement loan amount. So with loan to value ratio at the disbursement likely to reduce the reduce to ensure compliance, this would impact the growth of the portfolio. Okay? So though this regulation is good and try to bring proper regulation and standardization, but there might be challenges to the poor farmer who are देखो, will a one size fit work all. So gold loan serve as a lifeline for many rural and semi urban household, upon being the only accessible source of formal credit. So RBI may consider creating differential regulatory norms for micro gold versus structure high value gold loan. ठीक है? So that is what, India is a quite diverse country. We cannot have one size fit all. Instead of that, we can have different thing for different thing. So how do military, next topic is how do military standoff affect the aviation? So recently we have seen during Operation Sindoor, both India and Pakistan, they closed their airspace for flight from the each other country. So because of that, there is, each and every country have to take long turn. For example, let's say this is India. So if we have to travel Europe, we have to travel like that. Earlier we can travel like that. So because of that, there is a lot of losses, extra fuel consumption. So this article is talking about that. Not much important for our UPSC examination, but yes, whatever important, I've just highlighted it. Please go through it, you'll find it. So next is about, will there be a lasting ceasefire in Gaza? So what has the US mediated through the special envoy, is the situation? What are the terms proceed ceasefire? So let's see the Gaza. What is the Gaza conflict? Since the Gaza war began, only two brief ceasefire in between Israel and Hamas, including close to the agreeing other truce. So this time under the direct mediation of USA. Recent week, Israel come under the increasing international pressure from the Western allies. Okay, intensifying their criticism of war. Okay, so why this war started? So Israel launched its war on Gaza following Hamas cross-border attack and killing 1,200 people, and also two primary objective. So what are the primary objective of Israel? To dismantle the Hamas and secure the release of the hostage. Hamas have taken at least 250 hostages in October 7. Since then, war has devastated entire the Gaza. So first Hamas, they do the cross-border attack on the Israel soil and they took some people hostage. In retaliations to that, Israel started a war against them and they caused killing of or damage to the entire Gaza. So because of that, Gaza is facing the threat of hungry, famine, and rampant malnutrition. So this is what warned by the United Nations agencies. Okay? So dear student, this is all about 1st of June daily newspaper analysis. Dear student, if you have any comment feedback, please give the feedback and comment in the comment box. Your feedback are always welcome. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care. Jai Hind.